Hey there, friend. Welcome back to A Color Combos with Crystal. Today we're doing some easy DIY note cards, going kind of vintagey on this vibe. We're going to be using Blossoming Thoughts and Wishes, and we're just going to be using this one stamp set. There's some beautiful little embellishments and flourishes in the kit, along with some awesome stamp set images. So I have two pieces of cardstock. These are 4¼ by 5¼ so it's a great way to use any leftover little white cardstocks from your A2 sizes. Using some clear embossing powder, I'm going to stamp that sentiment, and then I'm going to bring in my gold embossing powder. And now we have Sending You Love. We're going to set that aside and stamp the next one. So we're doing a little mass producing, super easy way to create a ton of cards, especially these DIY note cards, perfect for all those upcoming fall craft fairs. Yep, and this is going to be super fun. So I'm adding some more of that gold embossing powder, removing some of the excess. We're going to set aside our embossing powder so we're sure not to cook these guys, and getting our heat gun ready to go. So I'm using my Wagner heat gun, and all the products are listed down below on the video. And if you're watching this on the Unity Stamp Company blog, hop on click on the video and you will be able to see the supplies as well. So as you can see, I am adding that heat, and as that heat cooks up and melts up that embossing powder, it turns kind of very metallic. Do not leave your heat gun set on that paper for too long, or it will overcook the embossing powder and it will disappear. Okay, so we are going to just finish that off, making sure that I have it all nice in that gold so it doesn't rub off. Now on the side of my image here, I have two sets of inks. I have a really light blue and a darker blue. It's Malibu blue. And so using the same stamp set, I'm going to stamp it in the light blue and then in the dark blue, and I'm going to stagger these. So I was watching some Jane Austen movie, and I was watching like the awesome castles, and that really inspired this card because I love all that gold brocade and the beautiful blues that you had at those times. And I'm like, you know what? We are going to create some vintagey style cards, but I want to emboss as well. So on this one, I'm going to be doing some second generation stamping, which is just stamping your image twice before inking it up, and then grabbing the light blue and kind of overlapping those. So it just makes it look really kind of fun. It adds a nice pattern to this white cardstock. And then I'm going to bring back my heat embossing. So my original thought was that I was going to stamp it with the clear embossing ink and then do some more of the gold. However, when I did that, I realized that the ink, the blue ink, was still wet and it was grabbing that gold color, and I really liked it. I was like, you know what? Why are we doing this? So in essence, we're just going to continue adding some heat embossing powder to that blue ink that's already there because it's still kind of wet, and it's going to create this really cool ombre going from the ink over to the embossing powder, or the embossing ink, if that makes any sense. So it kind of adds a little bit of gold to your blue, and it transitions really, really nicely. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing this. I really liked it, and I don't see a lot of people doing that. Just, you know, I feel like ink is quick to dry, and this water-based ink didn't. So hindsight, I wouldn't leave so much time pass between adding the embossing powder and the stamping, but that's okay. So as you can see, I didn't add any clear embossing powder to this one, and it's just grabbing that color. So I'm going to bring back my gun, and I'm going to heat emboss these guys so you can see it. And it kind of gives it a little more of a delicate look by doing that second generation heat embossing, if that's what we're going to call it. And I'm going to bring back my gun. And again, it's a really easy and super fast way to create some DIY note cards using your Unity Stamp Company stamps and products. And then these are this is cardstock that I had cut for other cards, like the 4¼ by 5½, and then I just trimmed the 5½ to 4¼ and it gave me some pretty cool squares. And I'm just going to heat emboss this, and again, be careful to not overheat emboss or it will kind of disappear there. You will lose that metallic shine. And I'm gonna having to switch over onto the other corner because it got really hot. So if you have some tweezers or some clamps that you use for heat embossing, that's a great idea. I just didn't want to burn my little fingers here. So let me show you these two cards that we created using one stamp set and two ink colors. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this quick tutorial on some DIY note cards using your Unity Stamp Company products. Please, if you're new here, give this video a thumbs up. Any questions, leave them down below. All products are listed in the video description. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.